Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have 8 all-new Easter DIYs for you using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. I had a lot of fun putting these together. For the first DIY, we're going to be doing a fuzzy little Easter bunny on a beautiful spring wood round. For the wood round, we're using just a Dollar Tree wood round. And what I want to do is cover it with some of the Dollar Tree scrapbook paper. This pack is called Frozen, and I really like that color right on top. The light blue color, and the scrapbook paper is great because it's large enough to cover the Dollar Tree wood rounds when regular like 8.5 by 11 is too small. I'm just going to flip mine over, just use a pencil to sketch out my circle so I can go ahead and cut that out. And then we can use that to cover the wood round. If you don't have any scrapbook paper, you could always paint it blue. You're going to get a very similar effect, but I think using paper kind of makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to carefully try to cut out a circle. Why is cutting a circle so difficult? But if I don't get it exactly perfect, I can always sand the edges of it once I attach it. So as you can see, it fits perfectly on there. You don't have to pair anything together. So we're just going to use Mod Podge on the wood round. I'm going to do a nice coat of Mod Podge all over. Try to make sure I get all of the edges and everything like that. And the cardstock's not super heavy. And it kind of has like a shiny side and a flat side. I'm going to use the shiny side up and just lay that on my Mod Podge, smoothing it out, making sure I don't have any bubbles. Sometimes a paper towel, like a dry paper towel, can help with that because you don't want to, you want to kind of dry any glue that might have seeped out. Now, once I got that on there, I just went around and sanded all the edges to give me that perfect round shape because my cutting may not have been so precise. What I want to do is do like a blue floral background and then do a really cute little fuzzy Easter bunny for right on top. And I absolutely love how this one turned out. Now for the hanger, I just need to go ahead and pop the holes through the scrapbook paper where the existing holes are. One of the Cricut weeders work really great for that. And we could restring a hanger on that and kind of get this part of the sign prepared. Hey, I found one of these little yarn keepers from the Dollar Tree the other day, and I thought that would be great for my twine to keep it clean on my workbench and stuff like that, and to keep like the end out. And look how cool that is. Great find for $1.25. I like to string mine through and knot them on the front. I find that my thinner Dollar Tree signs like this hang a little bit better when I do it that way, and I just make a hanger for it. Now this is the Easter bunny I chose. It is like the white wood Easter bunny from Dollar Tree. Super cute. I love DIYing with this bunny. And I can kind of see the areas of blue that are visible, and I wanted to use some of the little rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. They have a couple versions of these with leaves. I didn't really want tropical for this one, so I'm kind of just trimming out, the greenery that's not necessarily like palm leaves and stuff like that. I can save those for another more coastal DIY. And the great thing about these is you just peel and stick. So I went ahead and put the bunny on there just so I kind of know what's going to be visible and what's not. And then I just scrape those on. Sometimes these work better than others. You just need to get a good scraping on there. And if you start peeling it up and you find that it's not all down, just place it right back down and you can usually fix that. But I'm doing some of the larger ones here on the side because I have like a little bit more room. And we're going to be adding flowers to this later too, but this is going to be the greenery. We're using a lot of spring florals for these DIYs today. I think I'm really into flowers for spring this year, a little bit more than even normal. So I wanted to do a lot of spring flowers today in these DIYs. So I'm gonna do all the areas that are kind of visible. So I even did the top, and the side here. And just kind of random, really no rhyme or reason. I want it to kind of look like, like a wallpaper background or something like that. And I have a little bit of room here at the bottom, so I have some smaller leaves too. So I might as well add some greenery right down there too. I want it to look not so plain, and that did a great job with that. Now for the Easter bunny, I told you I wanted to make a fuzzy Easter bunny, so let's do that. I start with the sign, I just removed the hanger, and we're going to be using one of the little automotive towels from Dollar Tree because I wanted a fuzzy bunny, but I didn't want it quite as fuzzy as the mop heads because those are really thick. I just wanted a fuzzy one, and these are the fuzziest towels. I love DIYing with these. So as you can see, I can just cover the Easter bunny with the towel. So I'm going to flip it over upside down like this. The fuzzier side is on the bottom there. And then I'm just going to use a Sharpie to kind of loosely sketch out the Easter bunny. I'm trying not to get too close to the Easter bunny because I want to be able to cut off all of the color that we're adding here because of course it's a white Easter bunny. I don't want like all the blue lines on there. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging to cut out, but I thought this was probably the easiest way to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of cut the square out and then just going around with some of my sharpest scissors, trying to actually just cut the Sharpie line off, which was a little tricky, and I did have to go back and kind of touch it up here and there to try to get all that off. Again, this is going to be the back of the bunny, but being white, the Sharpie might show through. I don't know. You kind of have to use a marker. I guess you could have used maybe a little bit of a lighter color, but you're still going to have to kind of cut all of that off. So I'm just going to carefully go around the sketch of the bunny. There's really no crazy shapes. Probably the most difficult part was like the little bunny cheeks there, but it doesn't have to be too intricate. Just like a little bumpy over here. And I love how this turned out. This is like probably one of my favorite ways to cover one of the bunnies from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love decorating for Easter. I have like an Easter bunny collection that I started right out of college, and it's like one of my favorite things to decorate for because I think the little fuzzy bunnies are so cute. So I went ahead and trimmed the rest of it off and then flip it over, and you can see how fuzzy and cute this little bunny is. I'm going to go ahead and lay that on top. And you can kind of like spread it out with your hands to kind of, get all of the fuzziness to kind of go the same direction. So I'm just making sure that it's going to fit really well. Nothing's really going to overhang. And now it's just a matter of gluing it on. I just started here at the bottom of the bunny and did a bead of hot glue right down there. I guess you could use Mod Podge if you wanted, but it is a pretty heavy towel that you're attaching to it, so I thought hot glue would work well, and it actually did. You can't really see any of the hot glue through it. It doesn't seep through or anything like that. So I just kind of do one little section here at a time with the bunny, hot gluing that down. I'm not going to give it any details or anything like that because it's going to be the back of the bunny. And we can go ahead and start kind of laying out what this is going to look like by putting it on the little blue floral background. It's going to fit on there nicely. It's going to overlap the edges a little bit, but I kind of like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing it down. I am going to do a bunny tail on that, but I'm going to go ahead and glue it down to the wood round right now. Just kind of putting hot glue all over. There was a little bit of bow in the bunny, so I want it to be flat against the wood round. And it's a nice substantial piece now. Combining it with that thinner wood round, it makes it look a little bit more high end. So just making sure everything is glued down, we can start working on the bunny tail. This is a bunny tail I'm going to use. It's from the Little Bunny Yarn Craft Kit from the Easter section at Dollar Tree. There's lots of other options you could use for bunny tails too, but I really like the look of this, and I really like the pink color. So I'm just going to attach that little pom-pom with hot glue for a nice fluffy bunny tail. And then for the flowers, I'm going to use some of the soft pink baby's breath from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to pull the actual petals off of these and attach those to the sign, kind of over on the sides where I kind of have more room, where I can kind of scatter out flowers. You can see how cute that looks. It gives another like 3D aspect to the sign, kind of like the fuzzy bunny right on top. So I start with just one flower, even though the baby's breath are like 2 flowers combined. I'm just going to do one layer at a time and just kind of scatter those around, just hot gluing those down with a dot of hot glue. And I love that. I think that really finished off that floral background for this little Easter decoration. So cute. I did 3 on the right and 3 on the left, and then I just need to go through and kind of get my second flower to glue on top to kind of make them look a little bit more full. So then I am just going to do a dot of hot glue in the middle of each one of those flowers and add my second layer. Just made them look even prettier. I thought about like doing something for the center of the flowers, but you know what? I don't think it really needs that. And this is how it turned out, our little fluffy bunny on a floral background. I think it is beautiful. And you can just see how fuzzy it is and cute. Really a fun way to decorate one of those little Easter bunnies with a big pink fluffy bunny tail. Absolutely adorable. And I just love the flowers on there. I think it just really kind of makes the piece. What do you guys think about our first Easter DIY today? If you're enjoying today's video so far, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We're really close to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, for the next DIY, I'm going to be using one of these little wire baskets from the Dollar Tree. They have these in all kinds of pastel colors right now. I chose pink. I'm doing a lot of pink with my spring decor this year, and I wanted to do an egg basket planter. Now, for the eggs, I went all over. I even went to another town for those little pastel polka, speckled eggs. They always have at the Dollar Tree, and none of my Dollar Trees have them. They only have the gold ones. So somebody must have went around and bought up all the eggs, or they didn't get them in this year. So I had to be resourceful, and I found these egg garlands from the Dollar Tree. And these are covered with like glitter and sequins, which is not really what I wanted to do, but I think it'll work. And the colors are really cute. They are like pink, green, blues, really pretty pastel colors. So what I did was just put a little chunk of floral foam in the middle so I would have something to put the flower in and kind of fill up some of the space needed for the eggs, because it was kind of hard finding enough eggs at the Dollar Tree to fill the basket up because it's kind of large. So I got almost the perfect amount by using these garlands. I'm glad I got as many as I did, because as you can see, it is really loading up. Now these do have holes in them, so I'm just pulling them off the strings that they were on, but they're not real noticeable holes. I didn't really want to get any of the eggs that you could break apart. I wanted like a more complete egg like this. And I just pull all of those off the string. We're going to use every single one of these to fill up our little egg basket with Easter eggs. Now this is going to be the bottom for a little floral piece for Easter. And so I just kind of want these all scattered around. I tried to kind of alternate colors and stuff like that to, make it look a little bit random in there, the basket full of Easter eggs. And then to fill it, we're going to be using some of the baby breath from the Dollar Tree. And I ended up using a total of 4 sprigs of the baby's breath. I know my camera is not focusing well. I had so many camera difficulties getting this video done. I had to completely remake some DIYs. I had to go get new firmware for my camera, get a new SD card. This video was definitely a challenge, but I finally got it done. But this one is a little bit blurry because I messed with my camera settings so much. I don't think my focus was quite where it should have been. But as you can see, I am just cutting off the baby's breath. I decided to leave the leaves on mine to kind of cover up the foam block and anything that I really don't want to see here in the middle. And I'm just cutting them off with a couple inches of stem where I can put it down into the foam block. and just kind of randomly scattering it all around. I want to kind of cover the entire top of the egg basket with these. And probably the most challenging part on these was just getting that tag off. For some reason, they were very sticky, but I'm glad I got more of the baby's breath than I thought I was going to use because it definitely took a lot. And I really like the neutral white and the really tiny flowers to combine with the Easter eggs. I think it looked so cute. So that is how far 3 packages got me, but I wanted it to be a little bit fuller. So this is the 4th package of Baby's Breath or bundle, and I just cut those out, kind of fill it in a little bit more. You really can't go too full with this. And I'm glad I used the foam piece down in the middle because that definitely made arranging this so much easier. And that is basically all there is to it. We have our little Easter egg basket with baby's breath on top. I think this is so cute. It would look great with all decor styles, and how Eastery is that? I absolutely love it. It's so fun. I picked up one of these little baskets in like the mint green color too. I thought that would be cute to do, like maybe like a coastal DIY or something like this. But here you go. You can get a way better view of how this turned out with a baby's breath on top, filled with all the pastel Easter eggs in that cute little basket. I absolutely love those. I think they're so cute. And I actually kind of like those Easter eggs, even though I kind of wanted the pastel speckled ones. I think that would look really cute too. Okay, for the next DIY, I actually had to go to Walmart to get the Easter ears. They were $2.86, I think there. The reason why is because I needed bigger ones. These are the ones that I got at Dollar Tree. As you can see, the ones from Walmart were twice as big because I needed some big bunny ears, and I didn't necessarily want to make them. So thank you to Walmart for having the giant bunny ears. Then I picked up some of these little laser cut Easter words from the Dollar Tree, and I picked up one of their wood rounds. This one was from the Dollar Tree Plus, so it is a nice chunky wood round, really good for $3. And I want to make a really beautiful wall hanging with this. You could also use this for like your entryway for your front door. It'd be really cute. I'm going to measure this. It's about an 11-inch wood round, about halfway through there so that I can use some painter's tape. And what I want to do is do a wood round where half of the wood round is painted white and half of it is stained, because this is such a beautiful wood. I love these signs from Dollar Tree Plus. It's nice to kind of have a higher end option on the wood round. Now for the bottom half, we're going to be using Antique Wax by Waverly. So I just put my painter's tape down and we're just going to go over it with one coat of this, and it really stained this wood so beautiful. The wood grain on there is really nice, and we're going to do the top part in white. So I just did one layer all over, kind of doing the sides too, trying to make sure everything had a little bit of stain on it. I wiped off the excess stain with a paper towel. Trying to avoid getting any on the top if I can. And you can see how beautifully that's stained. Now, it was a little bit darker than I like, so then I went over it with a baby wipe to kind of take off a little bit more of the stain and kind of soften the color up a little bit, and I like that a little bit better. Super easy way to stain, and it dries really quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the tape and kind of make sure that the stain is really dry right here at the top so that I can put some painter's tape on there to kind of tape off the other way so we can do the top half of the bunny sign in white. This turned out so nice and so high end. I think I could probably even sell this if I wanted to, but I love it for my Easter decor. So for the top part, we're just going to use white acrylic and just go over the whole thing. I want to be doing a happy Easter sign, but I want it to look like a bunny head. That is why I got the giant bunny ears from Walmart. So I just went over with a nice coat of white, giving that a good dry. I did go over the edges a little bit here. It needed a little bit more. And I am going to have to go over it with like another coat because I want to make sure that it is a bright white at the top and none of the wood kind of shows through. I really want like the colors to pop against this. And I'm going to be using like all wood lettering from the Dollar Tree to do the sign. So for the Easter, I found this great little cursive Easter. I actually found this in the Crafter Square, not in the Easter section, but a great way to do a sign like this. I would like it to be a tiny bit larger, but I think it will work. I just painted mine white using a toothpick because I kind of got a little bit too much paint on that. And I want that to be nice and white to pop against that like stained wood background. So I did go over it with a couple of coats of white to make sure it is super white. And just touching up the top of that too to make sure that it is very white. And then I'm just going to kind of make sure that it's dry, especially like where my painter's tape is, so I can go ahead and peel that up. Now this painter's tape did great. I got no bleeding whatsoever except for the very edges where there's that, decorative edge. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe to kind of remove any excess paint there. And we're going to do the little Easter right down here, happy at the top. So I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue, a little bit like on every letter, but not too much. I don't want it seeping out. And we're just going to glue the Easter to the stained wood part down here. I love how that wood looks. Then for happy, I'm going to be using some of the Dollar Tree wood letters. I actually had the letters for happy, which is great. I've been kind of having trouble finding these wood letters lately. I need to stock up again. I want it to be a soft pink, so I'm just using my pastel pink Posca paint pen to paint these. And you know what? This was a really easy way to paint these wood letters. I don't know if I've ever tried using a paint pen on them before, but look how easy and well that worked and very little cleanup. So we're going to have it just say Happy Easter, and I want it to look like a bunny head. So then we're going to have the little bunny ears coming out of the top. Actually, big bunny ears. It's turned out so fun. And so I got those painted. They dried really quickly with the paint pen too, so that speeded things up. I'm going to have a P right in the very center. I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to kind of eyeball everything. And just do a little bit of hot glue here on the back of my P. That Ryobi hot glue gun likes to spit out a lot of hot glue. I probably should have used one of my other hot glue guns because it was difficult to get just a little bit of hot glue on the back of these, but we're going to make it work. So once I got the P centered, I did the H and the A on the right and the P and the Y on the other side, kind of spacing it out evenly. And I love that I chose to use pink. I was going to do something different with that, but I can't have too much pink this year for spring. It is definitely my color this year. So these are the ears that we bought from Wal-mart, and I'm just going to have to find a way to detach them from the headband. Now, they were wired really nicely with a thick wire, which kind of made cutting that more challenging. So I'm using like my heavy duty like KitchenAid scissors, but once I got to the wire, I kind of had to switch it up to my floral wire cutters from Dollar Tree to get through the wire because my KitchenAid scissors couldn't quite do it. So I just kind of kept switching up the scissors until I was able to disconnect both of them. And I got them off pretty good and intact. Now it's just a matter of attaching the bunny ears to the back. So we're just going to flip over the sign, kind of make sure everything stays in there, the wire and everything like that. And I'm just going to use my staple gun. This is a nice thick sign, so using a staple gun on this is no problem whatsoever. And staple that to the back. And then kind of do the other bunny ear coming from the other side. The great thing about these is that they're wired, so I can bend one of the little ears to make it look super cute and show lots of personality for a little Easter bunny sign. And I think that looks really cute. Look at that. Happy Easter with the bunny ears, the giant bunny ears. I'm going to kind of fold that one over a little bit, leave this one straight. I think that's super cute. And I want to make sure they stay really in place. So I kind of stapled mine a lot to make sure they're actually kind of like as one piece with the sign itself and that they're not going to go anywhere. And this is how it turned out. Our little happy Easter sign. I had an idea for this one and I'm so glad I was able to pull it off. I usually don't shop at Walmart, but I had to go there to buy a new SD card for my camera that could have been corrupt, causing all my camera difficulties. And this one, I'm glad I went to Walmart because I found those really cute little bunny ears to do the happy Easter sign. Isn't it so cute? It's very simple, but I think it definitely gets the job done. Hey guys, if you would like to join my Facebook group, I do have it linked in the description below. I'm also really active on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. And any interaction over on Facebook really helps because I do get a bonus over on there. Now back to the DIYs. I found one of the little chunky bunnies from my Dollar Tree. Aren't these so cute? I got the bunny, I got the eggs, I got the chicks. I love them. And I designed a great little floral printable, and I will share a link to the free printable below for you. As you can see, it's a very cute little pastel flower scene on a white background. And I just printed mine out on white cardstock. And we're going to cover the bunny with it. This was such an easy way to decorate these little chunky bunnies. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking me how to decorate these because I posted that I found these on Facebook. So I just use a pencil and we're going to sketch out the cardstock on the back on our great floral background. If you had a floral like scrapbook paper that you liked, that would work well too. But again, I will include the link to the free printable so you can recreate this cutie. So as you can see, the shape is definitely not that intricate. It's just a matter of cutting that down to size. I'm trying to cut like right on the line so I don't really have any wood showing in the final product. Even though it is a nice wood on the bunny, I love it covered with the floral print. It just really made this piece is so easy to do, but it turned out so beautiful. So just kind of taking my time, cutting this out, trying to make sure I don't mess up so I don't have to do it again. And that looks pretty good. So now we can attach that to the front of the little Chucky bunny. I've got like a couple of the chicks and I picked up like 3 of the eggs. I have lots of fun ideas for these things. They're so nice for $1.25. So we're just going to simply Mod Podge the cardstock onto the front. And the reason that I use cardstock is because when you Mod Podge, it does not wrinkle hardly at all. So I'm doing a thin coat and all over the bunny. And then we can just lay that bunny that we cut out from the floral paper right on top. Isn't that so pretty? I love this design. And I'm just going to use a paper towel to make sure it's good and down. I don't want any bubbling or anything like that. And kind of let that start to dry and kind of clean up any Mod Podge that might have seeped out on the edges of our cute little bunny. Such an easy DIY and it just turned out so pretty. I was able to do a pretty good job cutting it down. There was only one little area here that I had a little bit of paper overhanging. So I'm just using a sanding block from the Dollar Tree to kind of clean that up a little bit. And then once I have it on there, it's starting to dry, I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge the top of it. That's another thing. You don't really have to wait for it totally to dry when you're using cardstock. And so I just did another thin coat over the top of it to seal the project and make it, you know, not just look like it is covered with paper and make it a little bit more durable. Then I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree twine, cut a piece of that. We're just going to simply wrap that around the little bunny head here and tie that off. We're just going to do like a simple little bow. I kind of want it to be kind of over to the side a little bit like that. Nothing crazy, but just so classic and cute. And so I just tie that bow off, kind of trimming the tails. My tails kind of wanted to stand straight up, so I just trimmed them down short so that they wouldn't really stand out too much. And I just love how this cute little guy turned out. There it is. That's a way that you can decorate those little chunky Easter decorations from the Dollar Tree this year. And I always love it when the Dollar Tree has a new craft product for a season. This is how it turned out with that beautiful floral design on the white background. I think he is precious and would look great with any Easter decor. I told you I was really into flowers this year. Isn't he sweet? He's actually like fairly big. I'm trying to guess, maybe like 8 inches or so. Now for the next DIY, I wanted to do Easter egg candle holders. So I picked up some of the flocked Easter egg garland from the Dollar Tree Plus for $3 because I really liked those flocked Easter eggs. And some of these little wreath charms from the Dollar Tree. I thought these would be great bases for my candle holder because we're going to be building a candle holder from scratch. So I couldn't find two that were the same, but they both had white sides. This one, the yellow from the design, kind of went over onto the sides a little bit. So I'm just going to touch that up with a white paint pen so that you won't be able to see that. Then to cover the top of the bases, I designed this great Easter kind of floral background. It's got like chickens and bunnies and cute stuff like that on there. And I love the pastel colors. So I printed that out on cardstock, and I will share that free printable with you as well. I'm just filling the ornament holes in the little charms with a little bit of spackle so I won't have like a hole in those. But the cardstock is nice and thick, so I don't really have to do anything to that. We're just going to cover the butterfly and the bee on those with this great pattern that I designed. And I am using just a pencil, just flipping it over, and we can just sketch out 2 circles to cover the top of these, and we'll just leave the sides of them white. And these are going to be the bases for the candle holder. So I want to use those flocked Easter eggs from that egg garland to create this because I really wanted a high-end Easter egg, and those were the nicest Easter eggs that I could find at the Dollar Tree. Again, those were $3, but you get like 10 of those eggs. And so we're just cutting out the cardstock. And again, I use cardstock because it Mod Podges really well, but you could use paper if you wanted to print out this really cute design. And I will include a link to this printable in the description below this video as well. So we're just going to Mod Podge these to the top. So I just do a thin coat of Mod Podge over this, making sure I get the entire little wreath charm. And you could do like the chunky wood circles from the Dollar Tree too. It's going to give you a heavier duty base. I didn't have any of those and I couldn't find any. So I think these actually worked really well, even though they are a little bit thinner. But it actually turned out to a really stable candle holder because I want to be able to burn these candles. So I want it to be nice and stable. And these actually worked really well. So we're just going to Mod Podge both of those little circles that we cut out of that paper right onto the bases. I'm just using my heat gun to kind of speed that up, help it dry a little bit, and then we're going to seal these to make them a little bit more durable. I wanted to make 2 candle holders that I could use like on my kitchen table for Easter, kind of a matching set. And so I want them to be nice and durable. So just giving those a quick dry, and we have 2 bases for the candle holders. I was really not sure if I was going to be able to pull this off, but I actually did, and they turned out so cute. I've never made like a candle holder from scratch like this before. I guess I've made more simple ones, but this one's kind of definitely more intricate. So I'm going to use a sanding block here just to kind of get any excess paper off the edges, and then we're going to measure these. You can see they're about 4 inches wide. I just kind of need to know where the center is, and I'm just going to kind of sketch out the center with a pencil because I want to drill a hole in these to be able to put the wood dowel down inside. So just using my drill bit and my drill, I am just going to drill a hole in these. Whatever these are made out of, they kind of like really make a mess. It's probably like some kind of pressed wood, I guess. And so I just drill a hole into the center. I actually went all the way through on mine to make it nice and stable because I need a hole for the wood dowel. You could also use the skewers, I think, from the Dollar Tree. But I wanted it to be as stable as I could make it. So I'm going to use some of the really thin wood dowels that I found at Dollar Tree. But I know sometimes these can be a little tricky to find. So that looks good. These are the dowels that I'm using. I wanted something as thick as I could get, but something that would fit through the hole that's already drilled through those eggs to make that would-be garland. So we're just going to try these on for size. And I think I did a really good job. One of them was a little bit looser, but we're going to glue these in anyway with hot glue. So that should stabilize that. So put a little hot glue down in the hole that we drilled and just putting the wood down inside. I'm just leaving these the length that they are because I can always cut them down because I don't know exactly how long I'm going to need them to be. But that is the base right there for our candlesticks. Now, I love these flocked eggs. You know, they have like the large flocked eggs for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, so keep your eye out for those. I've been trying to stock up on those because I love them. But these are small ones, and so I thought this would be the best way to get these. They have a hole inside, and so I just put my egg on there, like the skinnier side of the egg up, and slide that right down. There's already a hole inside of them, so that makes it a little bit easier. And I don't really have any green on the base of the candle holder, so I think I'm just going to use pink, yellow, and blue. That's going to kind of coordinate more. Now be very careful because I kind of messed up this blue egg. I kind of got stuck, and as you can see, it kind of wanted to break it. Actually, it did break it, but I was able to kind of push it back down in there and make it salvageable, but I didn't have an extra one of the blue eggs, of course. That was the one that it happened to. But I was able to make it work. So I'm just trying to repair any damage. So be very careful if you're using these exact eggs to very gently push it down and make sure you're getting the dowel to come out in the same hole that's drilled on the top. So we did pink, blue, and yellow for that one. Again, we're skipping green just because it didn't coordinate well with that paper I designed. And then we're going to do pink, blue, and yellow on the other side. I went back and forth whether I should change up the order of the colors or if I should have the same exact pattern. I ended up doing the same exact pattern because I'm going to have it on a table together, and I thought it would actually look better to make them match, but you can do whatever pattern you want if you're doing this project. And I decided let's do the same thing. So we're going to do pink first. I just carefully put that on my wood dowel and carefully wiggle that through the foam egg because it's just foam right underneath the flocked surface. But these eggs are so pretty. I absolutely love them. And here is our final yellow egg. I think I've kind of got the hang of it now. So I've got them all on there. I didn't have to glue them or anything because they really fit with tension with that dowel coming through them. And we have 3 stacked Easter eggs. Now to cut the dowel off, I just used some heavy duty scissors and kind of broke it off. And then I kind of went back and tried to trim it up as much as I could. It was kind of hard to cut it at this point. But I don't really want too much of that wood sticking up because I don't want it to interfere with attaching our candle holders to the top. Now, since I'm going to attach clear glass candle holders to the top, I don't really want you to see the foam and the wood, so I just used a little yellow acrylic paint to touch up the top of my eggs. But this is what we have so far with our little egg candlesticks. Super cute. I'm kind of glad I did the same pattern. I'm kind of glad they match. Now for the top of the candle holder, we're going to use these little candle holders from the Dollar Tree. You get 4 of these for $1.25, and we're going to use these. They hold the tea light candles. I didn't want anything too big and heavy to go on the top of this, and I think these are going to work well. It's just a matter of finding a way to attach it to it and make it strong so that we can actually put candles in there. Now, hot glue and glass, doesn't work great, so we're going to use super glue. I picked up some super glue from the Dollar Tree. And I'm actually going to kind of assemble these upside down because the glass part is the heaviest part of the piece. And I want to make this stable, and getting this to dry is going to be a little bit challenging. So I put a little super glue right in the bottom and flipped my candlestick upside down, holding that onto the glass candle holder. And I did hold it for a while to let that start to harden up. Super glue is a little bit faster than E6000 and stuff like that, but you still have to really kind of use some patience on that. We're going to do this same thing here with the other candle holder, doing a nice healthy drop of super glue right in the middle and laying our little felt egg right here on top. And again, I held that one for a while to start setting up. And as you can see, my other candle holder is starting to lean a little bit, so it's not completely set up yet, so be careful. I was able to catch mine and kind of straighten it out a little bit. Now, again, the super glue is going to need some time to dry, so I'm going to go in with some hot glue around the edges. This is going to, any excess hot glue is going to go against the bottom of the glass candle holder, and it's a little hard to see right now, I know, from this angle, but I just kind of went around the edges of it with some hot glue just to kind of hold it in place like this, just so it can kind of finish drying and actually also cause, you know, more stability. We can't do with too much glue here because we want to make these candlesticks nice and strong. So I let these dry, and this is how they turned out. We have 2 Easter egg candle holders with the stacked Easter eggs. I absolutely love them. I'm so glad I chose to use the flocked Easter eggs just because they look so nice. I love that look of the flocked look. And I'm just making sure they are as straight as possible and super sturdy and that everything is staying in place. I love how these turned out. Let me show you how they look. Super cute little Easter candlesticks, very custom. And we can just use tea light candles for the top of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pop 2 of the Dollar Tree tea lights right in top. And that way we can actually burn real candles on these. And I just love how they turned out. Here's a little sneak peek, and I'll show you how they look lit up as well. Our little custom Easter egg candle holders. You can see that beautiful flocked surface of those Easter eggs. The Dollar Tree Plus really has beautiful Easter decorations this year. And this is the first year that I've had Dollar Tree Pluses in my area for Easter, so I was really thrilled to find these eggs. Super cute and fun. And let me show you how they look lit up. And I think these are going to be great for my Easter table this year. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you can get early ad-free access to my videos here on YouTube. And it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. And all you have to do is hit the join button under today's video. Now, check out this cute little fuzzy bunny sign I found at Dollar Tree today. I love the bunny. I don't necessarily love the sign that much, so we're going to kind of take that bunny head and make our own little spring sign. I'm going to use one of these signs I got on clearance at Target Dollar Spot, but Dollar Tree has the very similar sign, same size. It's about the same sheet as a sheet of paper. And then I want to cover it with a floral design. So I found these great bandanas at Dollar Tree today. Look at this beautiful floral print. I thought this would make a great background for the sign, and we can make a cute little bunny head Easter sign. So it's just a matter of covering up what's on the sign. I was going to paint it white, but then I decided, you know, since it's about the same size as a sheet of paper, I could just use a piece of white cardstock. Just trimming it down a little bit, and that would be an easy way to cover it because we're going to be Mod Podging to it anyway to attach the bandana to the top of it. But you could totally paint it. So I'm just going to do a coat of Mod Podge all over the sign. And I picked these up for like, I don't know, less than $1. So these were a great deal and a fun sign that I can kind of remake. I like the little frame on there. So I just glued the cardstock down, nothing crazy, and then it's just a matter of cutting out this floral pattern. I'm cutting off the green border on the side. And so I can kind of have 2 square edges here where I can kind of lay those up here, cut it long enough that it's going to cover the sign. And I kind of used my sign for reference on this. I'm not going to need like exact cuts on this because I'm going to kind of trim out the edges. So I just use an ink pen to kind of draw where the bottom of the frame is and kind of sketch out where the other side is here. So I can just trim that down. Nothing super accurate. With fabric, it's hard to get really accurate when you're covering something with fabric, but we're going to get as close as we can. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that rectangle. And I really love this bandana. I thought this was a really pretty print. Now I am going to iron mine just because it's a little wrinkled there, just to make sure that I get all that wrinkle out before I attach that to the back of the sign. So I have a nice flat piece of fabric. I just use my Cricut Easy Press for that. And then I just a matter of, I don't want it to overlap the edges. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have good coverage. I don't care if I see a little white around the edges because again, we're going to trim it out. But I don't really want any of the fabric like overhanging the edges. So I am going to have to trim it up here and there to make sure that it is fitting properly. And then we can just Mod Podge this down. I'm going to do a rather thick layer of Mod Podge on top of that cardstock that we put down. And just so it can really grab that fabric and make it stick, I'm not going to use any Mod Podge on top. So then it's just a matter of laying the fabric down. You have you have wiggle room and playtime like to kind of move your fabric around and kind of get it exactly where you need it to be. And I want it straight and flat on there. I don't want any bubbles or anything like that. So again, I'm just going to use a paper towel, kind of go all over this, kind of make sure it is all glued down. There's not going to be any bubbling or anything. And then I'm going to actually kind of frame it out with a little bit of trim so you won't be able to see like the white edges, just to kind of make it look a little bit more finished. And I'm going to use some of the burlap trim from the Dollar Tree. I just wanted something that was going to kind of match the wood frame on there and not really take away from like the bright floral print and our cute little bunny head with a pink on there. So I love these floral trims. They come like in a 3-pack like this. So you don't get very much of an individual piece like this. So it is going to take me a couple packages to cover this because I think this was kind of a partial piece. And as you can see, like gluing that on, it's going to give me the perfect edges here. I'm also going to go around the top too, even though there is a frame on the top and the bottom, just because my cut was definitely not perfect. Hot gluing that on, kind of doing the flatter edge of this ribbon towards the outside to frame it out. And I think that's really cute. I love using this burlap trim. I am going to have to open another package so I can match that same print. And we just have the top left to frame out. And I think this is going to be a really beautiful floral background for that little fuzzy bunny Easter head. Now, these Dollar Tree signs are getting a little bit thicker, but you know what? They're still pretty easy to cut. So I'm just going to remove the hanger on the back. Those are pretty easy to remove. And then I want to remove this. I'm going to go ahead and try to salvage the bow. So I use a little bit of heat, try to melt the hot glue, and we can save that cute little pink gingham bow. And then it's just a matter of cutting his head off. Now I couldn't really see from the back. I'm going to decapitate this cute little bunny. So I'm actually going to do it from the front. And I'm just going to use a razor blade, kind of pushing that down. You have to do a couple cuts to get through it. But as you can see, it's really easy to cut these signs. You don't have to use a saw or anything like that. A straight blade will definitely get the job done. So I just cut it twice and then just bended it until it broke off. Easy peasy. And now we have a cute little fluffy bunny head. I love him. He's so cute. I've never seen this guy at the Dollar Tree before either, so he must be new. And he fits perfectly on this sign. This is a great floral background. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue him down. And hot glue him directly to the fabric, making sure there's no bowing, none of it's like sticking out, everything is good and flat. And that background is pretty busy, but I kind of like it. I think it's really bright and fun for spring. Now I saved the little pink gingham bow, so I was thinking I could reuse it right here like underneath of him, like where it was before. I thought that would be really cute. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue that to the sign. Might as well use it since I have it. And it provided another little fun 3D detail to our little Easter bunny sign. Isn't he so cute? And I love that the bunny was already covered with fur. So I have another little fluffy bunny to add to my Easter decor. This is how he turned out. I think he's super sweet. I love the fact that he doesn't have any glitter or anything on him. A lot of times those Dollar Tree signs can be really blinged out. And I think he turned out really cute. What do you guys think? Okay, for our next DIY, I'm going to take a little bunny sign from the Dollar Tree and some of their faux turf. Now, I got this faux turf at Dollar Tree Plus for $5. I'm hearing from the Dollar Tree employees that this stuff is super in demand. I got mine a couple of weeks ago when I first saw it, and I've never seen it again since. And I want to save most of it for my table decor because it's so cute. But I'm going to use some of it to cover this bunny because I wanted to do a version of this little wood bunny that kind of looks like a reef, like greenery with flowers and stuff like that. So I'm just going to pop off the little bunny tail just because it was kind of sticking out and I didn't really want to have that get in the way. But we're going to cover the rest of this bunny with this turf. Now, there's other ways you could do this, and I had to make this DIY twice because of my camera issues. And so I'll show you the other way that I made it using Dollar Tree moss after I get done with this DIY. So I just actually sketch out the actual bunny shape on the back of the turf. It's got like a rug kind of backing, and I just Sharpie all the way around so I can cut this out. It's kind of got like a black plastic coating like underneath the turf. But how cool is this? The minute I saw this, I picked up a roll of it, and now I kind of wish I would have got more than one roll because it's so fun for Easter decor. I love using any kind of grass that I can use, anything that's going to look cute with like little Easter eggs and stuff like that down inside. So I'm just going to trim this out. It was actually pretty easy to cut, but as you can see, it like is very messy because you're going to be cutting off grass as you're going. So definitely be prepared for that if you're going to cut some of this turf. But I think this is going to be so cute. I just wanted like a bunny covered in greenery that we can also cover in spring flowers. So just cutting that shape out. Again, the bunny shape is usually not too intricate. And that was actually pretty easy to do. It's just a matter of cleaning up all of that mess. And here is our little bunny. I'm not going to worry about the little wood bump outs for the ears. I don't think they're really going to get in the way. And just laying that out, making sure I cut the bunny down to size. It's going to cover up any of the wood. And you can kind of see like the black plastic around the edges a little bit. So I was kind of trying to flatten mine out a little bit to try to cover that up. And as you can see, it does shed like a little bit. But really cool find for a Dollar Tree. The next year they need to order more. I wasn't super impressed with the fact that you could see that black plastic around the edges. So I thought I could go in and kind of trim that up a little bit closer to it to try to avoid seeing it. But you know what? You can still kind of see it even after trimming it up. So I kind of make it work. But I was trying to minimize the amount of plastic that was kind of sticking out there along the edges. Maybe if you cut it like a little bit more at an angle, you'll get less plastic around the edges and more just like straight turf. So I just trimmed mine down a little bit more until I was happy with it. The problem with that though is that now you can see a little bit of the wood sign back there and you can still kind of see some of the black. So I thought about kind of using more turf to fill that in, but I think it's close enough that we can make it work. I had made this project already, and so I have two of these little bunnies. I'm going to have to gift one with moss, and so I did not have any more moss left to remake the project, so I decided to try to use the turf, and I'm glad I did because it turned out really good. So I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue the bunny cut out of turf onto the wood bunny sign. Just like that. And I did want to kind of mask the fact that you could see the wood around the sides. So I'm going to have to kind of touch that up a little bit. And I'm trying to trim off any of the plastic, the black plastic that might be a little bit over the edges. Just trying to trim it up as best as I can. Isn't that so cute? We have a little grass bunny, perfect for decorating. Now, since I can already see the black plastic, I thought about painting it green around the edges, but I decided to kind of go with the black because that's going to kind of make it kind of blend in. So I just went around the edges of my wood bunny where you could see my visible wood with my black paint pen. And that totally kind of made that kind of disappear into the black turf. And so that was a quick, easy way to fix that. So I just went all the way around with my black paint pen, and any edges that you can see, I just kind of touched those up. And what we're going to be covering this with is just Dollar Tree flowers. I found some really cute little tiny flowers in spring colors, and I thought we could have little flowers like growing out of the grass. But for the bunny tail, I wanted to use something fun and fluffy like a bunny tail. So I'm going to use one of the pink carnations from the Dollar Tree. I thought that'd make a perfect little bunny tail. So I'm just going to attach it right about here where I think it would work. I left the stem on it, and I just put a little hot glue on the stem and glue that down into my faux turf for a cute little bunny tail. And then I want to use these smaller flowers to kind of decorate it. These were the smallest flowers I could find at Dollar Tree. These are like the hot pink baby's breath. Now, they don't pull off. You have to actually cut the stems on these to get little flowers. And so I just cut the stems off, maybe like a half an inch. I didn't want it too long. And I just put a little hot glue on the tip of those flowers and pushed it down into the grass so we can make it look like a yard full of wildflowers. And I want it to be super colorful and fun. So I kind of did that hotter pink color all around, kind of scattered those out. Now these are the spike. These have little white flowers that you can actually pull off. So I pulled those off and just hot glued those around too. I want to do like pinks and whites and yellows. I think that'd be really pretty. This is kind of a softer yellow. This is it's called Tweedia from Dollar Tree. And they have like two different flowers. They have this one that's got like 6 petals. They also have a smaller one. I'm going to use some of the smaller ones here as well too. Right here at the top, that one only has like 4 petals. And kind of just scatter those around evenly as well. And this is the soft pink baby's breath. It's just a little bit different color than the first one that we used. And so I'm going to add a little bit of the soft pink in there as well. Kind of making sure all the areas of the bunny is covered with little flowers. And so I don't really want like too many open spaces of green. So I just kind of keep adding flowers until I'm happy with it. It's so cute. I think I like this one with the turf a little bit better than the first bunny that I made. Because again, I spent hours trying to save that video file to show you guys that DIY. And it was not salvageable even with my expensive software. So I had to just make it again. But you know what? I really kind of like how it turned out. What do you guys think about our little wildflower Easter bunny made out of grass? I think it's super fun. Let me show you the one that I made out of moss. So this one I just glued Dollar Tree floral moss all over. I think it's still super cute. And that is an option that you can do if you can't find the turf. But I kind of like the brighter green color of the turf if you can find it. So I guess I'll have to gift one of these because now I kind of have twinsies. But this is how mine turned out with the grass. The little Easter grass bunny with all of the beautiful spring flowers all around. And, you know, I live in Florida, so spring is not like quite as exciting as it is up north. I used to live in Missouri and in Pennsylvania, so I still remember the joy of spring, but we still like to celebrate it. Now for the next DIY, I designed this free printable pea cottontail egg decorating company, and I will include a link to the free printable below. I printed mine out on cardstock, and we're just going to combine that with a Dollar Tree sign for a quick, easy Easter sign for the holiday. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the hanger on mine. Just because I'm going to make mine a standing sign. I like to save these hangers if I can, and they're not always put on in a centered location, so a lot of times you can't use them. But this is just a Dollar Tree sign. It's about the same size as a piece of paper, and my camera did not want to focus, but this is pink polish, acrylic paint. I'm just going to paint the frame the pink color to brighten it up because I thought it was just a little dark and drab. And then we can do the free printable on the sign. I love these signs from the Dollar Tree just because they're so easy to DIY with just printing out a piece of cardstock. So I just went over the top of the frame with some of that pink polish. I do want some of the wood to show through, but I definitely want to brighten it up and make it look more fun for Easter. So as you can see, it really kind of soaked that paint up. So I do go over it with a second coat to make it a little bit brighter pink. I don't have to worry about being too careful with painting because the back of it is going to be covered up with the cardstock printable that I designed. So I think that looks pretty good. Now for the paper, I do need to trim it ever so slightly. That Dollar Tree frame is a little bit smaller than it, so I'm going to use my little Cricut paper cutter and just slightly cut off the edges and cut some off vertically as well. I think that's going to fit. And make sure you get your frame really good and dry. You don't want to get any paint on your printable. And I love this design. I think it's so cute. I created that little Peter Cottontail design with AI and then made the sign to go with it. I think it's so fun. I do have that image itself for sale over on my Etsy shop, Crafty Beach on YouTube, if you just want the bunny, but I am going to share the free printable for you if you want to do this exact DIY in the description below this video. So I'm going to do a nice thick coat of Mod Podge all over the back of my sign. And then we can lay that little pea cottontail and printable right on top. Again, I use the cardstock because you don't get hardly any wrinkling when you Mod Podge this onto items. And it's just such an easy way to make your own little custom art piece for Easter. And I just made sure mine was nice and flat using a paper towel to kind of smooth it out and get any excess glue that may have seeped out. I'm going to go ahead and dry mine too. I was trying to make sure that my ink was good and dry because you can get a little bit of bleeding if you do seal over the top with a Mod Podge. So I'm trying to do like just a thin coat of Mod Podge over the top just to make the piece a little bit more durable and seal it. But I don't really want like all of that black to bleed. I noticed black likes to bleed a little bit from my printer. So I just went over with a very thin coat. That's going to kind of give it like a canvas finish. But if you don't mind the paper on top, you could just leave it like that. I just don't want anything to get on it and discolor it. So that's why I wanted to seal mine with more Mod Podge. Easy peasy. Now I want to make mine a sign that stands up on its own, so I'm actually going to have to kind of make a stand for it. I used just a little block I got at Five Below. These are the little Jenga blocks. I pick these up every spring at Five Below. They are such a great way to get these large Jenga blocks for crafting. And I just hot glue that to the bottom, making sure not to go all the way to the bottom so it leans back ever so slightly so it will stand up properly. And now I have a little standing Easter sign. This is how it turned out, our little pea cottontail egg decorating company. How adorable is that image? I absolutely love it. And again, all the free printables will be in the description below. I'll try to link them all to the description of the DIYs. Isn't this so cute for Easter? I just love it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. You've made it all the way to the final reveal. I'll give you a closer look of all the DIYs we made today. Be sure to like this video on YouTube. Comment your favorite Easter DIY in the description below. It always helps my videos do a little bit better. And don't forget to subscribe. We're very close to 30,000 subscribers. Enjoy the final reveal.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
Thank you so much for joining me today and making it all the way to the end of today's video. I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bums for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Nancy Wunner, Julie Miller, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Maria Grace, Donna Schreiner, Sandy C., and Iris Cornelius. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really means a lot. And if you would like to watch more Dollar Tree DIYs, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Until then, happy crafting.